Hey everyone, and in this today's video, I will be presenting about CloudTrail and not only that, I'm gonna show you the working demo of CloudTrail. So in my last video, I have given an introduction to CloudTrail. So today in this video, let's dive into CloudTrail. So CloudTrail is a service that records and tracks all API activity in your AWS account. For example, the services that you're using, like if you're starting an EC2 instance from stopping it to deleting your EC2 instance, or maybe if you're storing objects in your S3 buckets, or maybe if you're setting some IAM policy, or like if you're assigning roles to the users in IAM. So CloudTrail records all of this activity in the form of logs. So it's basically like an audit. You can just consider as an auditing in the sense like it's audit logs for AWS. So coming to what does CloudTrail does? So like I said before, it logs every action taken in AWS, such as creating and deleting your EC2 instance, logging into AWS console, attaching an IAM policy, accessing an S3 bucket, or calling AWS APIs like command line interface, SDK, and console. So each action which is happening in the services, it is CloudTrail event. So So how AWS CloudTrail captures and stores activity in your AWS account? For example, when an application or the user is using this AWS services, which is like the APIs, like SDK, console, and CLI, CloudTrail CloudTrail records these events, which is happening in these services, in the form of JSON format, in the form of events, and then it stores these events in the S3 bucket or in the CloudTrail logs, even in CloudWatch. So basically, this is what's happening in CloudTrail. So AWS console, CLI, and SDK are ways users or app interact with AWS. Every action they perform becomes an API calls. And AWS CloudTrail records these API calls as events, and CloudTrail then stores the event in S3 bucket and in CloudTrail lakes. So why is CloudTrail so important? Because it is mainly used for security and compliance, for detecting unauthorized access, to meet the compliance requirement, and to investigate security incidents, and also used for troubleshooting to find out who deleted the resources, to see why a service stopped working, or to track configuration changes. And also it is used for auditing and governance, mainly maintain a history of account activity or to prove accountability. So, what information does CloudTrail records? Each even includes IAM users, roles, AWS services. It can also record API action, timestamp, source IP, console, CI, SDKs, and other services, and even the resources like EC2, SD, IAM, CloudWatch, almost like all the services which is available in AWS. So coming to the types of AWS CloudTrail events. So there are like three types. So first type is management event. CloudTrail tracks whatever changes which is happening to AWS resources and account settings. For example, it creates and for example tracking what is happening to EC2 instance. For example, it is when the EC2 instance getting created or deleted, or to modify IAM users or policies, to create S3 bucket, and to update the security group. So the most important key point that you need to understand is that it does not track data inside the resources. That's the main part of that's the main point of management event, and it's also enabled by default, and it is most important for security and auditing. The thing with management event is that it is free, no cost. And coming to the second event, which is data event. So basically, it tracks the action which is being performed inside the data resources. So for example, inside the S3, it can also track the when you're uploading the data in the S3, when you're deleting the data in S3. So also you can track the Lambda function in invocations, or also it can track You can track what is happening inside DynamoDB, for example, like if you're if you're querying a data, if you're creating a table, if you're deleting the table, if you're, if you're trying to add some attributes in the table. So all of this, all of this which is happening inside the data resource. So this is what the data event does. So the main key point that you need to understand that it is not enabled by default. So you have to enable it by your own. And also it costs though, whereas in management event it does not cost at all. And the way it tracks is pretty much detailed. So this is what one of the key points that you need to remember. And now coming to the third type of AWS CloudTrail event is CloudTrail Insight event. So they usually track the unusual and suspicious activity pattern. It's, for example, like if there's a sudden spike in API calls, if it's abnormal IAM activities or unexpected resource creation rate. So it uses machine learning to track this unusual and suspicious activity pattern. It also helps to detect security threats and it also costs a lot compared to management even. So where are the CloudTrail logs being stored? So it can be also stored in event history that you can view that we can view from last 90 days in AWS console. It can be also stored in S3 buckets for long-term storage, and also it can be stored in CloudWatch logs, which is optional and it is used for real-time alerts and monitoring. So what is train exactly? So it's nothing but a configuration that collects the CloudTrail event, delivers them to S3, CloudWatch logs, or both, and can be single region or multi-region. So we're coming to the key takeaways, which is like a summary. CloudTrail is nothing but the AWS activity logging, helps with security, auditing, and troubleshooting. Logs who did what and when. Basically, it keeps tracks of all these activities which is happening in the services, and it works across all the AWS services. So, so now I will be explaining I'll be explaining and also showing you the demo of CloudTrail. In this demo, I'm going to show you a practical demo of CloudTrail. So let's go and search for CloudTrail. So let's go and check the event history. And you can see all the activities that you have done in the services in AWS. You can see the logs here in the event history. So if it is more than 90 days, it moves to S3 bucket. As in S3 bucket, you can store your data as for unlimited time. So let's go and create a cloud trial. So I'm gonna give the name of my cloud trial as node to 3. So I'm gonna create a new S3 bucket and I'm just gonna disable this, so it's not that required. To make things simple, so I'm just gonna disable it. And I'm gonna enable the CloudWorks logs here. And I'm gonna create a new iron rule, so I'm gonna just so basically I'm just trying to filter out some events, certain events that I want to move that event to S3 bucket and check those events. So I'm just trying to filter some of the event. So I'm gonna click next and I'm gonna choose the management event because the other events are actually paid. So I'm just gonna click next. So this is just a review for it. So everything is set. So I'm just gonna create a trail. So it takes little time to get created. Okay, now it's created. So this is my tray, as you see, and it's also you can see the S3 bucket where it's getting stored. So let's go and navigate here. So before that, let me go and launch an EC2 instance. So launch an EC2 instance. I'm going to give. So I'm going to just proceed without a key pair. I'm just going to launch the instance. So let me just go to the dashboard. So my instance is running here. So okay, I've started my EC2 instance. Now I'm going to go to S3, and yeah, you see the logs of the CloudTrails has been created in the S3 here. So the logs are being stored in the S3 bucket. So is this just getting registered, and you have to wait for like few minutes to get it registered. So I'm just gonna pause this video, and after that it should able to show the logs here. So as you see, uh, now it is being created in my S3 bucket. So I'm gonna navigate this one, this one. So I'm just gonna go here and just gonna open it here. So I'm just gonna go for provisioning. So as you see, these are the logs which are being stored in the S3 bucket. So so now I'm gonna go to CloudWatch. So I'm gonna go all the way to logs management. So just let me check 1 second. Let's go to CloudTrail here. So yeah, this is the one which I've created just now. So this is created in 6 minutes. So from there, we're gonna navigate to. So these are the logs in the CloudTrail. Sorry, in the CloudWatch. So so we'll just go through it. So this so these are my logs in my these are the logs of my each instance which I've created just now. So this was taking some time to get registered to my CloudWatch. So that's why it wasn't able to show up, but now it is showing up here. Mm. So yeah, so these are all the logs that we have created in the CloudTrail. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and please do like this video and subscribe to this channel. Take care.